Silver is everywhere, in your phone, in your car, in the solar panels powering entire cities, in the servers running AI. It's one of the most important industrial metals on Earth, and demand is rising faster than ever. But today, I want to explore a theory that challenges everything we think we know about commodities, scarcity, and the future of technology. A theory that asks a simple but uncomfortable question: what happens when human innovation outpaces natural resources? Could silver, and even gold, eventually be replaced by synthetic materials? And if that happens, what does it mean for investors, industries, and the global economy? This is Invest Connect, and this is a deep dive into the future of metals. To understand the future, we need to understand the present. And right now, silver is experiencing one of the biggest demand surges in its history. Let's break it down. EVs use significantly more silver than traditional cars. Why? Because silver is the best electrical conductor of any metal. Every sensor, every circuit, every connection, silver is the backbone. As EV adoption accelerates globally, silver demand rises with it. Solar panels rely on silver paste to conduct electricity. There is currently no commercially viable substitute that matches silver's efficiency. Solar is projected to be one of the fastest growing energy sources for the next 20 years. That alone is enough to strain silver supply. AI servers, 5G towers, high-performance computing all require high conductivity materials. Silver is essential for minimizing energy loss and maximizing performance. Silver is naturally antimicrobial. Hospitals use it in wound dressings, coatings, and sterilization technologies. New battery chemistries, superconductors, and quantum technologies are experimenting with silver-based components. In short, silver is no longer just a precious metal, it's a technology metal, and the world is becoming more technology dependent every year. Now here's where things get interesting, because while demand is rising, supply is not. The average silver mine today produces less silver per ton of rock than it did 20 years ago. This means more energy, more cost, more environmental impact for less metal. Opening a new mine can take 10-20 years. Permits, environmental studies, infrastructure, it's a long, expensive process. Most silver used in electronics is in tiny amounts, making it uneconomical to recover. Many silver mines are actually lead, zinc, or copper mines. Silver is a byproduct, not the main target. So production doesn't scale with demand. This leads to a popular narrative: silver is scarce, demand is rising, therefore the price must explode. But that narrative assumes one thing, that silver remains irreplaceable. And that's where our theory comes in. This is where I introduce something I call the why theory. It's a framework I developed in my book, The Why Theory, and it applies perfectly here. The why theory says every system, every market, every technology eventually gets disrupted. Not because it's broken, but because humans keep asking, why does it have to be this way? Think about it. Why did we replace horses with cars? Why did we replace film with digital? Why did we replace copper cables with fiber optics? Why did we replace natural diamonds with lab-grown ones? Because someone asked why. Why are we limited by nature? Why can't we engineer something better? And once that question is asked enough times, innovation begins. Innovation leads to alternatives. Alternatives lead to disruption. So when we ask, why do we need silver for conductivity? Why do we need gold for corrosion resistance? We're opening the door to a future where these metals may no longer be essential. The why theory isn't about predicting doom. It's about understanding the forces that shape markets and staying ahead of them. Now let's talk about the science, because this is where things get exciting and a little unsettling. Materials science is advancing at a pace humanity has never seen before. We're no longer limited to what the Earth provides. We're creating materials that outperform nature. Here are some examples. Graphene, a single layer of carbon atoms, 200 times stronger than steel, highly conductive, flexible, lightweight. Graphene has the potential to replace metals in electronics, batteries, and even solar cells. MXenes, a new class of 2D materials, incredibly conductive, stable, flexible, perfect for next-gen electronics and energy storage. Conductive polymers, plastics that conduct electricity, cheap to produce, lightweight, scalable. Carbon nanotubes, stronger than any metal, excellent conductors, used in aerospace, electronics, and advanced composites. Lab-grown diamonds, used in semiconductors, lasers, and heat dissipation. They're replacing natural diamonds in industrial applications. These are not theoretical. They exist today, and they're improving every year. The question is not if synthetic materials will challenge silver and gold, the question is when. So let's answer the big question, could a synthetic material replace silver or gold? Scientifically, yes. We already have materials that match or exceed certain properties of silver and gold. Economically, eventually. Once production scales, synthetic materials become cheaper than mined metals. Practically, not yet. Silver still holds several world records: highest electrical conductivity, highest thermal conductivity, natural antimicrobial properties, excellent malleability. Gold still dominates in corrosion resistance, microelectronics reliability, long-term stability. But history shows us something important. The best material doesn't always win. The most scalable one does. If a synthetic material becomes cheaper, easier to produce, and more efficient, industries will switch, not overnight, but gradually, quietly, inevitably. So what happens to silver and gold if synthetic materials take over? Industrial demand could fall. If EVs, solar panels, and electronics switch to engineered materials, silver demand could drop significantly. Prices may stabilize or decline, not crash, but lose the explosive upside many investors expect. Gold remains a monetary asset. Central banks won't replace gold with a lab-made material. Gold's value is psychological, historical, and institutional. Silver retains cultural and investment demand. Jewelry, bullion, collectors, these markets don't disappear. New uses may emerge. Even if silver loses some industrial demand, new technologies may create new niches. The key point is this: commodities don't become useless, they evolve. Their role changes, and investors must adapt with them. The why theory teaches us that nothing is permanent. Not markets, not technologies, not even the metals we've relied on for thousands of years. Silver and gold won't vanish, but their dominance is not guaranteed. The winners in the next decade will be the investors who understand how innovation disrupts old markets, how synthetic materials reshape industries, how to position themselves before the shift happens. This isn't about predicting the end of silver or gold. It's about understanding the forces that shape the future and using them to your advantage. This is Invest Connect, and this is why we don't just follow trends. We question them, we challenge them, and we understand why they matter. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe for more content like this. Also come visit our growing community over at www.investconnect.com for similar content, blogs, videos, and free tools to make you a better, more thoughtful investor.